This is Grandma Gloria, and it was requested to show you all how I do a demonstration on how I do my turkey. So this is the way Grandma Gloria do it. And talking about something wow, they would eat every bit of this bird, all the way to the bone. So the first thing you need to do, now I have started cutting on one side, as you can see, but I want to show you, my husband usually do this, but when he's not around, I do it myself. So the first thing you want to do, you want to take this drumstick and the thigh, separate the skin. You see, have some very sharp knives, but you see how they're just cutting like butter? Then when it's cut like that, you want to take a yank on the bone to expose that joint. Cut behind the bone. Now you can do this on a 12-pound turkey, 18 or 22. I'm going to cut up through here. See how easy that is? Then I'm going to try to expose the bone. That's what you want to do. Once you do that, you won't be cutting on the bone, and you always wash your meat. Then I'm going to do the wing, which is kind of easy. Expose the bone. This one got that breastbone across. It may not be, well, hallelujah. Now, with the breastbone, since I bought it, I don't need that. With the breastbone, we're going to leave it whole. So if you want to sit it on in the center of what you need, a lot of bone through here. And so, this part is getting there. Okay. I got to break through here. That's all right. It's going to be fine. There you go. Okay. And I'm going to cut off all that excess skin there. I'm going to have enough skin. Now this part here, I'm going to boil with the rest of the turkey, but I don't usually set it out on the table. Why? Because after Christmas or Thanksgiving, I make a turkey soup. Talking about the best. And so what we got here, we're going to leave everything just like that. When you wash your meat, I want to show you underneath here. Underneath the skin of the thigh, there usually be some slime there. But this one here is pretty good. But I usually remove that vein. You don't have to if you don't want to work too hard. But I usually do that. That's what you call cleaning your chicken. Okay, that's some slime. That's what I was looking for. All of that, you don't want it in your liquid, because that's what, when you make your stuffing, your cornbread stuffing, you're going to use that stalk to put into there. So that's all you, just on those two pieces that have that extra that I don't usually like to take forward and put in my water. That's already been washed. The drumstick is fine sometimes. Okay, underneath this drumstick, you want to look under there. This is cleaning. I'll do the breast. Like I said, I'm going to leave it whole. So if you want to have it in the center, and when you bake it out, you'll be able to carve it. But it's going to be nice nice and juicy. The most important part about boiling a turkey, listen closely, is seasoning your water. And I know you probably never heard that before. But that means whatever seasoning you put in your water gonna be transferred over to every inch of that turkey. That's the reason why it's gonna taste so good. So while you cutting up your turkey, start your pot with a half a pot of water, because once you put your turkey in, the water is going to rise. So you don't want to start it with a full pot. You're going to have something running over. So what we did here, I did 1 tablespoon of poultry seasoning. Let me get that last because I can say something about that. 1 tablespoon of black pepper. 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. Now, if you don't like garlic or you're allergic to it, that's all right. You can substitute it for bay leaves or any of your special seasonings, because the more you put in, the better it's going to taste. And I started off with 1 tablespoon of seasoned salt. This is the only one I would probably have to add to, because if the water evaporates, I would have to add more salt. So each tablespoon of each of these, and then maybe add a little more salt. We'll let you know for sure. And over here, we're going to season. The water is hot. I'm gonna turn it on. We're gonna season. In here is all of those seasonings that I told you about. Seasoned salt, the poultry season, the black pepper, and the garlic.
You put it on the water directly.
All of it in there. I'm gonna stir that. Then this is 4 stalks of celery. There's 4 of those. 1 big bell pepper. 1 large green bell pepper. And 1 medium-sized onion. Now all of those seasonings is going to go into your turkey. So it doesn't matter where would you want to go to set your dinner out. And what I did all those years before I learned this, I was covering up by making good gravy. But it was still dry. Okay, I'm putting all these pieces in. I didn't want to put the breast in first because it takes up a lot of space to lay on top.
Man, Grandma, I ain't never seen nobody boil turkey. I didn't know this is how you made it all this time.
Did you like it?
I love it. I love it. I ain't complaining. I just didn't know this was how you did it.
Okay. You see how the water's rising?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This piece is a little too big, but don't fear.
There you go, Grandma. Show them the strength.
I'll just do it.
There you go. Yeah.
Bend it enough so it can go in. So now you got a full pot. That's to season your water. It's not enough salt. So we're going to do a tablespoon of seasoned salt and a tablespoon of regular salt. Now this will boil for about an hour and a half. But if you was baking it in the stove, it will be 5 to 6 hours, and you got a big old hunk of dry meat. You don't want that. And so, like I said, we're gonna come back, show you how I dress this up, and I think I will be able to convince you that this is the best way. Grandma Gloria. See? Okay, I'm back with my boiled turkey. But before we go any further, there was one ingredient I overlooked. And so a tablespoon of sage. So you want to add that to your liquid. And I kept tasting my liquid, my broth. So I ended up adding to this big pot 3 tablespoons of white salt. Okay.
Is that in total, or you added 3 more?
No, in total.
Okay, in total. Okay.
I added 1, and then I added 2 more after that. I kept tasting it. Okay.
It's looking good.
This smells like Thanksgiving or Christmas. Oh, let me test my. That was oil. It's seasoned very well. So I'm going to take this out. Now, like I said, I'm going to move everything off of this bag and make myself turkey soup. Yes, that's what I would do with that. So this cooked for what? 1.5 hours or 2?
No, it was definitely about 2 hours. Because you
don't
had
have
it
to
for 1 hour and
cook
30,
it,
and then you
but
put it on for another 30 after that.
I don't think you have to cook it but 1.5 hours because it's falling so hard.
Well, let's just tell the people out there two hours for good measures.
Oh, that's my wing. Okay. Good drumstick. See?
Yeah, I see it fall. I see it. It's falling. I see it.
Okay. Well,
I know you would normally take this and you would make it into dressing, but is it okay to just stand alone like this too?
Oh, yes, for sure. If that's what you want to do, put it on your platter and break the wings apart and just debone it, because you don't want people coming getting a whole drumstick. If you're going to leave it just for that, you debone it, and especially the wings, the drumsticks, and the just in case you want. Now, in my house, turkey and dressing goes together. And this is what I normally do. I have my dressing, and you can go to my website. For a pan like this or a little bigger, what you're going to want to do, on the website it say 2 bell peppers, 2 onions, 8 stalks of celery, 2 tablespoons of black pepper and sage and poultry season. But you cut that in half for a smaller group. So
you talking about your YouTube video, right?
Yes,
that you did, but
okay.
For
my cornbread stuffing. So just imagine your dressing is in here, uncooked. You take all of these parts, and naturally it would be bigger, and put on top of the dressing. Just don't lay it there, kind of press it down.
Okay.
So you're going to do all of that. And then once all of it is in the pan, you're going to cover it. The reason why you're going to cover it, because you don't want your stuffing or your dressing to dry out. Cover it with foil for about 30 minutes. That means the dressing is going to get done and still be moist somewhat, but it's not going to be dry.
Okay.
You're going to remove the foil, and if you see any little wetness in between, you can let it stay in for at least uncovered with the foil for at least 15 minutes.
Okay.
And I will tell you, oh, look at it. Now this is the breast. Look how,
Okay. So for everyone out there, if you're just making a standalone turkey, this is going to be the end result right here. After you boil it for the 2 hours, you pull it out and you got your turkey right there ready to go. But if you do want to have it with stuffing or dressing, then you will put that turkey on top of the stuffing and the dressing, throw it in the oven for another 30 minutes. And you can check out Grandma Gloria's video on her YouTube on how to make that stuffing.
and one other thing I want you to remember. Don't try to get a knife and cut it right now. That is a big no. Once it cools down on its own, you can literally put it in the freezer. Not the deep freezer, but in the refrigerator. Let it cool down. And it will slice like butter. So always remember, if you want something to cut very nice and against the grain, because you don't cut it this way, you cut against the grain, and then you have a very nice cut. You cannot go wrong boiling your turkey, because all the flavors and all the juices are still there. I hope you tried. And if you tried, give me some feedback. And if you don't try, give me some feedback. I'm going to love you anyway. This is Grandma Gloria, and I will see you next time.